about your character in the final 10 episodes?
I can tell you that I can't tell you anything. I can tell you that they're this, along with every other character, you're probably going to get pretty general answers. We can't give anything away, but you're just going to get to see all of our storylines wrap up. You're going to get to see like our last kind of final arcs, each of us. I think my character's arc in this last season is great, and I think that you're actually going to get to see really where I wanted my character to end up. You kind of I've grown up alongside the writers, with my character, and we've all kind of had back and forth about what the character should be and this and that, and obviously they know best, but some of my input was implemented, and I just really am happy with where Liam is, and it's where I wanted him to be. I got to really play what I wanted to play this season, which is all I could ask for, and I think that it's just a really well done season. I think we had no choice but to do it right. It's the end of it,
Do we get to see Liam as the alpha at all, since he was supposed to be that when Scott left?
You don't get to see him like literally be the alpha, you know what I mean? But you get to see him going in those footsteps. I think every season is like a little inch up of him becoming the person to take the throne. You know what I mean? So you get to see my character be more, have more responsibility, and I think that that's kind of more so what you're going to see. But my character has a lot of responsibility this season, a lot of things that he has to do in order to make sure everyone's safe. And I think that every season Scott puts more responsibility on him, and I think that it's going to be fun.
A lot of fans really like Liam and Hayden together. Can you talk about how that progressed at all?
Wait, sorry, say that again?
Liam and Hayden?
Yeah.
Yeah. How is that going to move forward?
Well, we don't see too much of Hayden this season because her character's moved away, the classic move away, to London or something like that. But I don't know. You don't get to see too much of us do anything. It's kind of like this last season. Liam's on his own. We don't really specify what's happened between us too much, but I'm dragging this question on. You don't get to see too much from us, from those two characters. I wish you did, but you don't.
So if Liam now could give Liam then advice, what do you think that would be?
To be so angry. I don't know. I think Liam now would just tell Liam then that you're doing all the right stuff. There's really no one answer for getting through what you have to get through. But you did it right. There's no way to not make mistakes. There's no way to do everything perfectly. So just keep trying to do everything to the best of your abilities, especially with the crazy circumstances that all these characters are under.
There's definitely more humor in the first 3 episodes of 16 for people that have seen them, the screeners. What was that like to be able to be funny?
It was great. I mean, we kind of in 6A we got to do a little bit of that. I got to do some funny stuff with Cody. And I think that really kind of kicked it off in terms of, the writers and the producers saw the response from the fans that they liked that dynamic and they liked the comedy. So it was great to get to do that again in 6B, and I love doing comedy. I didn't really know it. I still really like drama and seriousness, but I really like comedy too, and it's something that I actually enjoy doing and that hopefully I'm good at. So I think that there's as the seasons get to the end, it kind of gets more serious, obviously, because shit starts hitting the fan. But those first couple of episodes were just really fun to do because it's always lighter. And hopefully doing those scenes and those comedic scenes will give me kind of a push to do other comedic things in my career, and it kind of gave me a little kickstart.
Yeah, you should. And
Sorry. Okay, I keep.
did anyone else? I was just gonna ask. So I have seen the first three, and Liam's kind of at the center of a big change in Beacon Hills. What was that like for you to play? Was it like was there guilt or responsibility in that big change?
I'm trying to remember what the hell you're talking about. No, it's been a blur.
In Tyler's episode.
In Tyler's episode, yeah, that was intense. There actually was a lot. That was, those. It's kind of like a day by day thing, The day before was fine, the day after is fine, but that day we were filming a lot of that intense stuff. In Tyler's episode, it's kind of just you get very to yourself, and you kind of have to pull yourself back and kind of get in this place, because you have these little spurts of time where it's like this is a really important time to be serious and to work. You know what I mean? That was one of those days where it's like you really got to work hard, and you can joke around here and there, but this is some intense stuff that you kind of have to be mentally focused for. But I had fun doing it. Those things are fun to play.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The
Thank you guys.
helicopter. Yeah. So what was your favorite memory looking back?
Ever?
Ever.
My life
ever.
or just on Teen Wolf?
On Teen Wolf.
My favorite memory, one of my favorite off the top of my head, was the first day that I got to set. And everybody had kind of already worked with each other because they had done a little bit of the pilot already and the sizzle reel. And it was lunchtime, and so I was going through the line, and I didn't really know many people. And one of the PAs came up and said, "Do you want to sit with your son Tyler?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And so we shook hands and we sat down, and I'm looking into his face, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this could be my kid or my brother, family member." And then we proceeded to talk over lunch, and I just knew in that moment that it was going to be a lot of fun. We were going to have a lot of fun together, and that's what I said. I said, "Listen, we're going to have a lot of fun together. This is going to be a really great ride," and it has been. Yeah. Anybody else have a question?
How involved will you be in Scott's life and other kids now that it's a time jump? You went off in college.
I think that one of the smart things that Jeff Davis did was write the parents in the know, right? In the know of Beacon Hills and what's going on. He didn't choose to make us uninvolved. And so I think we'll always be on the peripheral and we'll always be involved. But I also think that there's that time where you kind of step back and, let your child move a little bit without you. Because I don't believe that you can be a full human being without that happening, without that separation. So we'll have to see what the next 10 episodes bring.
So some of us have seen a few of the new season, and obviously the fear thing is a big thing that everyone knows about. So there's a scene specifically that I'm thinking of where you were terrified.
Yes.
What did you have to think of to get in that mindset?
Well, I was terrified of not doing a really good performance because that actually was Tyler Posey's episode that he directed, and so everybody, 613 is his episode, and everybody wanted to be really on fleek for him. And we always do our homework, right? We're always doing our lines, and we become professional, and we don't mess around on the show. But we really we were hyper aware that we wanted to do a good job for him. And that particular scene is a lot of fun, so I really enjoyed doing it. And it's funny because, a lot of times you're not afraid on the show. We kind of move through the fear on our show to fight, a lot. So it was something that you had to think about. Good question.
If you had to describe how fans will feel after watching the final episode in just one word, what would it be?
I hope they feel satisfied. I mean, there's when you have 10 episodes and it's only 44 minutes per show when you take out the advertising, that's not a lot of time to tell a story. and we have so many really great, well-developed characters. I think that Jeff and the writers tried to really do justice to each one of those characters and the storyline and our mythology as a whole. So when you really think about it, that's a lot to be beholden to. So I hope that, in a word, that we can all be satisfied with how it ends. It's actually a lot when you think about it.
Are you enjoying getting more of your own storylines that don't have anything to do with Scott?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like, that's one of the things I think over the last couple seasons where we've seen these new pairings of people together. Like, I've had a couple of scenes with Shelley, you know, and that was a lot of fun, you know, and you know, to work with JR more. Because a lot of my scenes were with Linda, and so for us to kind of play together and, you know, for this, you know, love, air quotes for those who aren't here to watch, possibly blossoming, it's just been a lot of fun.
Speaking of that, like, yes, is there anything you tease about you and
Well, I think we explore it more. We definitely explore it more. And I think that you'll see maybe some hesitation on or contemplation on where do we go from here. Because when you lay one on someone like that, you have to talk about it. So we'll see where that goes.
What do you think was the defining moment for your character?
Probably the moment that she saw her son as a werewolf. You know, that was way back in season 2. It was a defining moment for the show. It was a defining moment for how Jeff would write for me, Mama McCall specifically, and also just for parents in general. He had to make a decision, right? And so that for me was probably the most defining moment. But there's a really great scene also between us in the final 10 episodes. I won't give anything away, but it was a really wonderful scene for both of us to have.
That's great.
Yeah.
What was your favorite scene from the show?
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a tough question. There was a lot of really good work. I have to say, I don't know if there was like one particular scene that was great, but what I really enjoyed was between scenes, like, you know, the talking and messing around and like all those wonderful things that you do, and, you know, planning, and, you know, specifically with Dylan, he's the kind of guy that can be laughing and, you know, hysterically carrying on with a joke, and then they're like, and action, and he can just drop into tears. And so to see that is really fun, you know, someone that has that much natural command over their emotions. You know, most of us have to work up to it.
Yeah.
It's just a natural. So that's fun, the in-betweens.
That's awesome.
In all 6 seasons, what do you think was the scariest villain that you guys faced?
Oh man, the Dread Doctors personally for me, because I have strange operation dreams that people are taking out of my teeth. Oh, bruh, I can't even. And so when I saw them, I was like, seriously, I texted Jeff. I was like, you've actually brought my worst nightmares to life. And he's like, ha ha ha. And I said, if only they were taking out teeth. And he's like, that's in 504. Remember when that guy was taking out his own teeth? So I have those kinds of nightmares. So for me, and in person, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the costumes, but Barbara did an amazing job with making those. Those were all handmade. Wow. The boots, pants, the masks from our special effects guys. So they were really complete because they had to stay in that outfit for a really long time. But there's some stuff in the last 10 episodes that's gonna, you know, chill you too.
Is there any episode that is the most powerful out for?
I don't think that there's, you know, I think that people that are fans of the show are fans of the show. And I think that there are really 10 special real episodes. Thanks for asking, but I think it's really, it's a compilation of everyone's amazing work that pulls us through these last 10.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Great questions.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Oh, I am. So,
So, what can you tell us about the last 10 episodes and your character?
you filming? Nice. That's some high-tech shit right there. I can tell you it's a season about fear. It's a season about divisiveness. And it's a season about coming together and overcoming adversity. Yeah.
What is your biggest fear for you?
My biggest fear personally?
Phobia.
I'm not a big fan of crowds, so these kind of things are actually kind of tough
Came
for
to
me.
the right place.
Yeah, I walk around and I'm like, I get this thing of like that people are breathing up my air, and then I start thinking like they're breathing out and I'm breathing in their air, and it's just I just get a little lightheaded and
We'll hold our breath for you.
yeah. I know it's not reasonable, but I'm not a big crowd person. Yeah, but that's probably not my biggest fear. Death.
That got deep really fast.
Final
Get real
one.
deep, guys. Bring it down. So looking back in the whole series.
Wild animal attack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Be bad.
Wow.
Be bad.
Sorry, can I just say?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to say, I always secretly wanted you and Melissa to hook up, but then Chris got the jump on that.
I thought that was.
I agree.
I thought that was a done deal. I mean, I thought that's where we were heading, and then yeah,
So what's
Yeah.
in your romantic future then?
nothing.
So sad. It's so sad.
Thing, I know.
Nothing.
We
Yeah.
have to give you someone at
The
least.
two saddest words in the English language, right? No, I always said the what party?
Yeah.
What party?
So what was your favorite season looking back at the whole series?
You know, I've loved them all. I've loved them all in different ways, and they've all sort of represented different milestones in my life and in the evolution of the show and in the evolution, the growth of these kids that I worked with who became men and women, and just the joy and the pride that I feel looking at who they become and looking at this little show that we were a part of and put together, and how it went out into the world and touched so many different people in so many different ways. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite behind-the-scenes moments from just these last 10 episodes?
Probably, I directed this season, and we've gotten to do that, and you know, you see the behind the curtain a little bit, and I love working with the actors, and particularly the young actors. And there's a couple of new kids on the show this year that Froy and Andrew, who were such a pleasure to work with, and an actress named Sibo, who is exquisite, an exquisite actress, an exquisite person, and such a pleasure to work with. And I think that really good things are going to happen for all those people and going forward. And it was so much fun working with them, and if I could facilitate bringing out the best in them, that was my favorite part behind the scenes.
I think they're taking you away.
All right, I love you guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
See ya.
Well, my first question is, because they will find me and sign me up if I don't ask you about Stydia 6B. So, what can you tell us about Stydia 6B?
Without spoiling too much. I can tell you there's some fun scenes with Styles, Lydia, and Jackson. That it's an awkward reunion at first. That's all I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you.
What else?
I see we get a glimpse of Maya and Scott in the
Malia and
Malia,
Scott.
yeah.
Yes.
What was the decision to do that? Because that kind of came out of left field. Yeah.
I think it comes out of left field because you guys don't see the progression in the season. It's a trailer moment for sure, but you'll see how it grows. And it was really me sitting around with the writers saying, all right, what relationships have we not explored here? And what would be meaningful as opposed to just throwing two people together? You know, and we sort of tested it out in 6A, a few different moments, and you'll see where it goes. I like it. It's one of the more interesting. For me, it was a fun relationship to play this season. So, and it has a nice mission. They're really good together, Shelley and Tyler. They love working together. So, we'll see if the audience likes it.
What can
At a
you
certain
tell us
point, you can't worry about what the audience is going to say. You have to sort of go with your own gut on writing these things.
What can you tell us about the villain for 6 weeks? It's been
The villain
pretty...
is very mysterious. There's always two villains in Teen Wolf, I say. One is the brute force villain, and one is the intellectual villain. So the brute force villain is the mystery, and that villain capitalizes on fear. The other one is played by Sibang Lei, and she is phenomenal. She is utterly wonderful and a beautiful human being and a joy to work with. And I think she really relished playing a villain role. And she is a villain you understand. You completely understand her motivation. Those are the best villains to play and write, I think. The ones who clearly come from a place of well, if I was in her situation, I might do the same thing. Or I might have the same anger. And she is a new hunter. Who Gerard sort of takes under her wing. Sees a certain bit of raw natural talent in her. And it is a kind of rise of the new hunters in Beacon Hills. So Scott and his friends become pariahs again, become outcasts. And we'll see how they do.
So we know Derek is coming back.
Yes.
Is there any chance that we'll know more about Brayden or their relationship?
I'll say Megan was one of the few people that I couldn't get back this season that I wanted to. There was a point where we were reaching out to her managers, and her managers were saying she's not available this week, or she might be available for 2 days here. And Megan was texting me saying, no, that's not true. I'm actually available all this week and that week. And I was like, it's too late now. Oh my God. So it's because she's on another show, and she's been doing great. She's been doing really well. I love Megan Tandy, and I hope I can hire her. We can work together on something else. She's such a good person, such a good friend. So unfortunately, she and a couple others, because of scheduling conflicts, couldn't come back. Like, I wish I could have gotten my hands on Daniel Sharman and dragged him back up from Mexico, where he was shooting Fear the Walking Dead, to do at least one scene for us. But it's hard. They're all talented people who are working.
If you could describe how fans will feel after watching the final episode in just one word, what do you think that would be?
Satisfying. When I watched the last scene, I thought to myself, okay, this feels like a series finale. Because and that's one of the hardest things to do as a writer, is like wrap things up in a very satisfying way. Doing the season finales was always extremely stressful for me, because I was trying to wrap so many storylines up, but the last scene of the show feels like a really good ending to the series. It carries forward, mostly because it carries forward the message of the show. So you'll see. Maybe you'll tell me you're completely wrong.
I'm unsatisfied.
I'm entirely unsatisfied.
And if you could bring one character back to life out of the whole show's history, who would you bring back to life?
Jennifer. I'll freely admit it was a mistake to kill her off. So, also because Haley's such a good person, and she's one of those people you want to bring back to set because you enjoy having her there. She's such good energy. Such good energy. What else?
Is there anything you can tell us about the new anthology?
That's still very much in very new in talks, but it would be something similar to like the way you listen to S-Town or Homecoming. I'm still talking to Chris McCarthy, the new president, about it, and talking to podcast producers. I think it could be really fun. I love the podcast section myself. We listen to them really. I was listening to one on the way down here, and it's addictive.
It is.
So it's a fun way to do a different style of story. This is like radio dramas. You can't. I listen to audiobooks all the time, and I didn't read the Harry Potter books. I listened to Jim Dale narrate them. They're amazing. if you love the Harry Potter books, go listen to them.
And in the whole show's history, whether alive or dead, or whether they were ever together or not, who are two people you think would have been great together or should be together as a couple?
You know, after I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I wonder. Back to me on that. I'll give you my email. Later tonight, I'll say to myself, "Oh my God, why didn't I say this?"
Just tweet it out later.
Yeah.
I don't have a Twitter.
Well, you can do it on TV both ways.
I could do that. Yes. Wrapping up. All right, I'm done with you guys.
Thank you.
Nice to see you all.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah.
All right.
What can you tell us about your character in these last 10 episodes?
Yeah. I think one of the cool things that we're going to see with Mason is we're going to see a much different side of him in moments. He still is the same person at the core, but you know, he's always had a very easy time seeing the positive in very negative situations. So having him actually that be a challenge to see the light at the end of the tunnel, it's going to be very interesting to see how he responds to that. There's a couple episodes coming up where you're going to see that, so I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Are you satisfied with where your character ended up?
Yeah, because I remember season 4 and most of season 5. Most of the notes that the director would give me is, you know, remember, be excited. This is new. This is exciting. Regardless of if it's scary, there still is like, whoa, like I didn't know this existed. So now there's none of that. There's no excitement to it. It's not fun anymore. This is like real life. This is real danger. So Mason just kind of matured into the supernatural pact, and he realizes the responsibility he has, and you know, he is a lot like Styles, which is something that I really enjoy playing. Styles is an awesome character, so being a little bit like Styles is really cool.
Will we get to see some more of Mason and Corey?
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be cool to see, because having a relationship in such a stressful environment already has challenges. But, you know, seeing two characters have that love bond regardless of what happens externally is always good to see. And it's something that, you know, I aspire to have. You know, just not even just like the romantic love side, but Mason still loves his friends and still has a new family that he loves. And, you know, it's still very challenging. But yeah, to answer your question, there's going to be more Mason and Corey.
So there's still some hope in the center of all the darkness.
Still some hope, yeah.
Okay, so which episode has been your favorite episode to film so far?
Yeah, I think it's episode 13, 613. Yeah, it's the one where Posey directed. And there's this really nice scene with me and Dylan, and it opens on us playing video games. And that kind of mimicked another scene when we first started playing video games. And it was just kind of reminiscent, but then there's a really, I don't want to spoil it, there's like a dark twist to that scene that I love filming it. The way it was shot, Tyler, he did his thing as a director, and yeah, I'm excited for that.
So if you could bring one character back to life, who would it be?
Allison.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get to work with her. I'd definitely bring Allison. Yeah. Or one of the twins. Oh yeah.
Only one of them.
No, yeah. Well, the other one's alive.
Yeah. The other twin.
The other twin. Yeah. Because he had a crazy death scene.
Yeah, it was really sad.
So sad.
Oh my gosh.
I saw that on a big screen.
Oh no.
Because we were, it was a premiere thing. But nice, they did a big jump.
Sorry, we're gonna have to
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, thank you.
30-second interview.
Sorry, we're doing